Hi friends, this is Manish Pharasi again. In the last video, I touched upon the inevitability of change that is happening all around us and what kind of impact does it have on us. So in this series, we'll be exploring how can we make ourselves ready for this change and all. But let's talk about what kind of changes are happening around us. Just let's look at few examples around those. So disruptive innovation is one kind of change which is touching upon every industry and every organization. Now, let's imagine a situation a decade back. Could we have ever imagined that there could be organizations which would not be owning a single asset, but they would still be valued in billions? Now we have such companies like, for example, Uber. They don't even own a single taxi. Still, they are valued at $72 billion today. Similarly, Airbnb has no assets of its own. Still, it's valued at one of the largest accommodation providers in the world. Facebook, no content of its own. Still, the largest content site all across the world. And you can look at their valuations. It's in billions of dollars. Now, not only this, now new products, the convergence. Let's talk of a simple smartphone. Now, when Nokia was dominating the market a decade back, they never thought that there could be somebody who would totally wipe them off the market. And Apple came with that smartphone. And just remember that nobody was asking for a smartphone. It was their identification of the latent need of the consumers and the technology that everything was converging. So they capitalized on these two: convergence of technology and latent needs of the consumers, and they created a smartphone, and which revolutionized the way we are computing. So it democratized computing. Everybody with a smartphone can access any information in the world. Now these kind of changes, which were not imaginable few years back, the rate has only gone up in the coming it will only go up in the coming years. So just imagine the impact on the business models it will have. Now let's take an example of a simple organization which has, let's say, a transaction processing system which employs a X number of people. Now technologies like robotics, RPA, artificial intelligence, will eliminate the need for those people at all. Not only that, now the robots can work round the clock. They can work 24/7 and they don't get tired. They don't feel human emotions. So just imagine the kind of impact it will have on the businesses. Now, what kind of jobs will get created? That's anybody's guess. But like in automation, when automation hit the industry, people thought that it's an end of the labor force. But no, it created more jobs. It created more skill sets that were required. And only those people who could adapt to those change are now are in senior positions. So it all depends on how, as individuals, we take these changes. Now, the leaders of technology industry today were the early adopters of the technology revolution, which happened 3 decades back. So, keeping this in mind, I think we have a lot to learn from history. So, let's not get bogged down by disruption. Let's take it as an opportunity, that it's an opportunity for growth, not only for the organizations, but for us as an individuals. So, how we will demystify that will be the topic of the coming videos. So, if you like this one, please subscribe to this channel. There will be a lot of interesting stuff which will be coming up, and you can just get access to them once you subscribe. So till I see you next, bye bye.